Would you let your opponent take one prize so that you can take 3? Well, that is exactly what this deck aims to do. Alright boys and girls, so here is the deck list, and I will also have it posted in the description of the video if you want to run and test this deck out for yourself. For our main attacker of the deck, we have Claydol with that Kaboom Doll attack for 1 psychic energy. Put damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon until its remaining HP is 10. If you place any damage counters in this way, this attack also does 120 damage to this Pokemon. This is going to be the main attack we will be using in conjunction with our support Pokemon, but we'll get on that later. And if you find yourself in a situation where you do not want to use Kaboom Doll, you can always go for the second attack, Mind Bend. For 1 psychic energy, your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused and it does 30 damage. Think of it as a weaker version of Monkey Dory's Mind Bend. For our support Pokemon, we're going to have Xatu with that Clairvoyant Sense ability. Once during your turn, you may attach a basic energy card from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon. If you attach energy to a Pokemon in this way, draw 2 cards. Xatu is going to be our main draw engine of the deck. Then we have our second and probably the most important support Pokemon of the deck, Brute Bonnet, with that Toxic Powder ability. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon has an Ancient Booster energy capsule attached, you may make both active Pokemon poison. This ability pairs so well with Claydol's Kaboom Doll attack because it guarantees you're taking the KO every single time you attack. And as an added bonus, your opponent does not get to activate Pheasantipity. And just as an added bonus, we do have a couple luxurious capes in the deck. When we attach this to Claydol, we might get away with doing back-to-back Kaboom Dolls. And if we knock ourselves out, our opponent still only takes 1 prize. And that's basically the whole gist of the deck. Poison our opponent, blow up our Claydol, and watch as the prize cards take themselves. Now before we get to showing off this deck, hi, my name is Cisco and I make fun decks, not good decks. So if that's your cup of tea, then please consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel. It really helps us out on our road to 500 subscribers. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into some games. So we are jumping into our first game, and we like to go second because we are running that Precious Trolley to help us set up our board as best as possible. But we are whiffing here and we're only starting the ball toy. So let's see what we can make with this. Alright, it looks like we are going up against a metal deck. Could be Empoleon, could be Metagross, could be Goldango. We don't really know much from the opening Genesect. And our opponent is playing Precious Trolley themselves, so we'll see what they get with this. We'll see what fills up their bench. Alright, it looks like we are going up against a Jellicent Metagross deck. Pretty interesting stuff. Let's see what my opponent has up their sleeve now. It's just an energy attachment, get out 2, and pass. Alright, so not the best of starts for us. Let's go ahead and do the Artisan. Let's go ahead and Artisan for the Brute Bonnet. I'm not sure if we attach the ball toy just yet. We can't put the booster capsule on the Brute Bonnet, but I think that's all we should do for now. This Pokepad, we might need it to get out Claydol or Xatu depending on what happens on our following turn. So I think we're just going to go ahead and pass here. Alright, our opponent is evolving their first Steven's Beldum. And they pass. Alright, so nothing too crazy. Luxurious Cape. Okay, maybe not. Okay, I think that works. We do this. We attach. We Pokepad. They don't have anything really quite set up just yet. Of course, they can get that Metagross up and running in 1 turn. But I think we will be fine. Let's just go ahead and get out another ball toy to help us get one as a backup. But I think we should be fine to go ahead and take the KO on this Genesect. And we will be, if our opponent doesn't get anything set up right away, we can still take the knockout if they don't get another attacker up and running right away. So So that is the first knockout with Claydol. Like I said, we can still do another Kaboom Doll if they don't have anything quite set up just yet. There's the Pheasantipity, but the Pheasantipity does nothing, unfortunately. They're going to X-Boot. Now, do they have the energy attachment for turn? Something tells me they're going to whiff it. Oh, there's the... Okay, there's the Night Stretcher. Okay. Not bad, not bad. So they are going to be able to take the KO on us here. Alright, so down goes our first Claydol, and they will take 2 prizes for that. Then we go with our ball toy. Luckily, we did get the Claydol off the top deck. Oh, and we get another Claydol off the top deck. Wow, interesting stuff. Let's go ahead and Artisan for another Claydol. Let's see how many more... we have one more Claydol in the deck, so yeah, let's go get another ball toy. So we do that. Let's go ahead and put the energy on there. Unfortunately, our Natu is not doing much of anything here. But we can do Town Store. With Town Store, we can go ahead and get out another luxurious cape. And hopefully this one will stick. They don't seem to have anything for backup. They would need a rare candy to be able to evolve that Beldum and get something from that. So I think we'll be fine with this here. Let's not forget the Toxic Powder first. And then we go ahead and Kaboom Doll. Putting 330 damage counters on our opponent's Pokemon. We take 120, and then we take the knockout on the Stevens Metagross. And we take 2 prizes. Of course, with Mega Pokemon, we would be taking 3, but for now, we just have to deal with 2. Alright, they're bringing up the Latias. There's another Metang. They're going to Town Store themselves. If they don't get anything, they don't counter catcher or anything like that, we can... Okay, so they are bringing up the Frillish. This would be a perfect time to top deck a boss's orders. Counter catcher, not exactly what we need. We can just evolve this one for now. And I think... Town Store, we don't really need any tools, but we should still thin out the deck. So hopefully we can draw into what we actually need. So I think I'm going to take another Air Balloon No, we'll take the TM Devo and just hold on to it just to thin out the deck. I don't want to draw into a TM Evo. We can... Toxic Powder our opponent and Mind Bend. Let's go ahead and attach the Claydol already to have it as a backup. Let's go ahead and Toxic Powder here. And I think we're gonna Mind Bend. That's the best we can do right now while we wait for our opponent to set up another 2-prizer, or if we can get boss's orders and just take the 2-prizer KO. Our opponent is getting a Night Stretcher, so they're probably going to get out... Okay, they're getting a Psychic Energy out. Thought they were going to go for that. Alright, they're bringing in Latias again for a free retreat to cure the confusion, which is pretty good. That was a pretty good move on their part. But it's not really going to solve things out. We're going to be item blocked, but that's quite alright. There's a Hilda, which gets us our... Yeah, we can play this Hilda now and get out our Xatu and a Psychic Energy. Hopefully get the Xatu doing something, because it's done nothing for us as of yet. But it doesn't really look like we've got much going on. So we're just going to Toxic Powder again. And we're going to go for that Mind Bend. And that should be a 1 prize KO that we have right there. So we just need to take 1 more prize now. Alright, let's see what we get. We got another Hilda off of that. There's the Matang. Will they be evolving into Metagross here? Go and Town Store themselves. Get a TM Evo. Granite Cave, alright. There's the Metagross. Going to do the X Boot. Accelerating to itself, of course. Do they have the energy attachment? They do. They get a Monkey Dory out. Alright, they're going to Ultra Ball here. Getting rid of Jellicent and Lily's Clefairy. Monkey Dory out. 2 Monkey Dories. Pretty interesting. Boss's orders. They're going to boss up our Brute Bonnet, of course. Gonna Metal Stomp us into oblivion. Alright. Alright, here we go. We're gonna go with this. Here, we just need to be able to retrieve that. Let's see how hard we're gonna be able to make that happen. So, we got the Brute Bonnet, which is good. Now, the thing is that we do not have the capsule. So, what we can do here is we can go and Clairvoyant Sense. Attach one there. Do we get the capsule? We do not get the capsule. Unfortunate. Okay. What can we do here? I think we can probably go in and Mind Bend. And then maybe... no, we can Kaboom Doll and then maybe Mind Bend for game. It's possible, but it's not really ideal. This was probably not the greatest thing we could have gotten. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think that's the play. I might lose this game, but we will see. We're just going to go ahead and Kaboom Doll here. And we knock ourselves out. So that only gives our opponent 1 prize card to work with. Now we can go ahead and sacrifice our... maybe our Brute Bonnet here. Yeah, I think we just do that. Or Xatu. I'm not really sure. We have our Claydol ready to go. The extra draw might be helpful, actually. So, we'll just go ahead and play the Brute Bonnet and see what comes out of this. It might not be the best thing that we could have done. Alright, they're going to go ahead and attach a Lucky Helmet to the Metagross. If they hit us here, then we just win next turn. Alright, they whiff it. They get a Lily's. Alright, are they going to... Alright, they're gonna... That's GG's. Say goodbye to our Brute Bonnet. And then we play the Claydol to close out the game for us. We could Kaboom Doll and go into sudden death. But that is definitely not worth it. And there is the concede from our opponent. GG's to our opponent. And let's go on to the next game. Alright, on to the next game. And it looks like we are going to be going first. Alright, not a terrible opening hand, but could have been better. I'm not sure about... I like Bontoy being in the active there, but it'll have to do for now. At least we have the Arven, which can get us Precious Trolley, but we can't play it this turn. So this is going to have to do... What does this do? This attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So it just does 30 damage straight out. So for no energy. So, alright, we'll see what we can do here. I don't know if we should attach energy yet. I think we just pass. Alright, let's see what we get. What our opponent plays next. It's a Bunsweet with an Elekid and a Pidgey. So we're pretty sure they're playing the Pidgeot engine. So we need to get rid of that Pidgeot as soon as possible. We do not want to have them... Do we want to have them evolve or do we have them It's so hard with Pidgeot. Like sometimes we want to knock it out so we can take that 2 prize KO, but then sometimes it's like, is it really worth it? I don't know. Okay, we get another ball toy. All right, that's good. Let's go ahead, and we have 2 Claydolls in our hand. So let's see how many Claydolls we have in the deck. We have 2. Okay, so that's fine. We have only 1 Xatu, so we prized 1. All right, let's go ahead and do this and this. And I think that's going to be the best move we've got right now. So we can go ahead and Precious Trolley, get out another ball toy. Wait. No Natu. We don't have our Natu. That is awful. Okay. All right. No panic. Don't panic. I think we just do this then. Let's go ahead and TM Evo into our Claydolls for at least 2 of them. Alright, we have no Natus, so our draw engine is prized. Both of our little Natus are both prized. So, wow, what a cruel way for the game to start. Alright, definitely not the best start, but we shall see what we can do from this. We already have the energy attached to the ball toy, so even if they crackling shot on us... Oh, they're gonna crackling shot the Badoo! Why did I do that? Why did I bench Badoo? Why did I bench Badoo? I wasn't thinking. I was just angry at the game for prizing my little Natus. Oh, jeez. Alright, so they're just going to go ahead and take the first prize card here, which is not bad. It enables us to counter catcher things if we can get counter catcher. I'm not sure. Our draw engine is dead. We have the Xatu in hand, but no Natus at all in the deck. This is just bad. This is bad for us all around. So it's a Serena deck, right? There's a Steenie, yeah. There's a small live, so probably running the Doll live. That is it. Doll live? Okay, I think it's Doll live. That gets them the extra added attack. I think it does more damage. Or the Petlil. Is it Petlil? No, small live. No, this is Arboliva. Arboliva and Serena. Interesting concept for a deck. Not bad. What are they gonna do here? What are they getting with the Pidgeot? We need a counter catcher. We need a counter catcher like now. Actually, boss's orders. We need boss's orders. Well, actually, we do need counter catcher if they knock out my Badoo here. Oh, wow. Okay, sure, buddy. Let's see. Okay, they decided to get rid of my ancient booster capsule on my Brute Bonnet. They're gonna go ahead and knock out my Badoo here. Yep, it's gone. So like I said, that at least gets us counter catcher, so we could probably take out the Pidgeot if we get the counter catcher, but we have to get it. Oh, holy top deck. Let's go. All right, now we also need the we need to either get a booster capsule or a town store. All right, Lily, do your thing. No. All right. Yeah, so about that, I think we just get another one ready. This is terrible. This is a bad starting game. Let's go ahead and Kaboom Doll here. I think we just have to sacrifice it for now. That's another prize down. We have boss. Oh god. This is a good time where we should have been playing Monkey Dory, I think. Alright. We got the boss's orders. I think we need the booster capsule for sure. That would have been such a good KO on the Pidgeot. Unfortunately, we whiff. But we can still take it out with Mind Bend, so we don't have to go for another Kaboom Doll. Oh, that was not good. That was not good. Alright, what's our opponent looking for now? They're probably looking for the Serena. The game just doesn't want me to have fun with my deck. Alright, let's see what they got here. What did they get? Oh yeah, you can't see what they get with quick. Oh yeah, of course, duh. Alright, they're gonna go into my Claydol. Can they knock it out here? Yes, 120. Yep, they can. They definitely can. With Neo Upper, I'm glad they used the Neo Upper on the Pidgeot, so that's not bad. Alright. Alright, let's see what we got here. Can we pull this off? Alright, we get another Hilda. So we got plenty of Hildas, which is great. No, it's not. It really isn't. Alright, we get more of those. Put them back in the deck. Attached there. At least they kept the Pidgeot in the active. Alright, come on. What's going on with the psychic energies bugging out the game, man? Alright, let's go ahead and Arven here. We can still counter catch her up other things. So I don't know if I should go for this and this. Alright, let's do that. Let's see if that can do something for us. We'll do that. But we'll go ahead and knock this out with the Mind Bend. I'm glad that gets rid of the Neo Upper as well, so not a horrible trade, but we are still behind on the prize race. Can we pull off a comeback? There is the not to, so we can finally bench that. Alright, they're going into a Lekid, so we can still counter catcher something here. Alright, there's the Fez. Gonna be able to flip the script here, because we did take a knockout with damage. Alright, what did they play after that? Flip the script. Alright, there's the Serena. So, if they don't have the energy attachment here, I can go ahead and try and knock it out. So they can go into Badoo here, or we can go into... So that would take away our counter catcher play. Yeah, they're probably going into Badoo. But we can still boss. Alright, there's Badoo. So the counter catcher play is definitely off the table. It's a Night Stretcher. What do they get with that Night Stretcher? We got Pidgey back with Night Stretcher. Okay. Ooh, let's see. Itchy Pollen on my Claydol. Alright. There's a town store. Perfect. Alright. That was a pretty good top deck. Let's go ahead and town store here. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a luxurious cape. We'll attach that to the Claydol. We'll go ahead and boss up the Serena. And then we can Toxic Powder first. Don't forget to always Toxic Powder first. It could be a huge misplay if you do not do that first. Alright, Kaboom Doll. Let's get it. There's 300 damage. 120 on my end. Alright. Tick for turn. And we knock out the Serena. Okay, we just need to take one more 2-prize KO. And we can win this game. Select. Alright, there's another Natu and a Pokepad. Okay, perfect. Come on, let's get it. Let's see it happen. There's the Lekid. We need to get another boss's orders to win this game. There's an Arven. Alright, they got the Rare Candy and the Air Balloon. Alright, they're gonna Rare Candy into Pidgeot again, probably. Yep, there is the second Pidgeot. Our opponent really likes their Pidgeot. Gonna quick search. They're probably going to counter catcher up our Brute Bonnet if I were to guess, because I don't see another play where they can get off an attack unless they attack with a Let Kid. But I mean, they could probably go into that and try to knock out our little Natu or something. I wonder what they got with that. Another rare candy. We're going into Arboliva. Okay. That oil salvo. Okay, yep. Alright, so they have 3 potential Pokemon that we can try and knock out here. Alright, what is our opponent going to do here? Are they going to stall or are they going to bring up the Arboliva? Let's see. Gravity Mountain, which does nothing for us. Doesn't it actually reduce theirs? Yep, 280. Choosing a new. Okay, what are they bringing up now? It's going to have to be the Arboliva, right? Like, it just has to, more than likely. Yep, but what are they taking out? They have to take out the Claydol, right? Alright, so they do knock out my Claydol. Okay. Alright, we need another luxurious cape. I'm not sure if we can make it happen, but we're definitely going to try. Otherwise, this basically goes into sudden death. Alright, let's see. Pokepad. Xatu. Alright. Clairvoyant Sense. Do we get lilies? Alright. Let's do this. We can counter catcher up like Fez or something. Oh, ooh, this is rough. Yeah, let's just counter catcher up Fez. And I think we have to Lily. Hopefully seeing 6 cards will get us something. Oh, I wish I had Arven right now. Alright, Lily. Do your thing, Lily! Please! No! No, Lily, what did you do? Alright, yeah. I think we lose this game. Alright, let's go ahead and Toxic Powder. And then we go ahead and Mind Bend. Alright, that is the only thing we can do right now. We need to get... Oh, we can Lily again and see if that gets us anything. Depends on what my opponent... My opponent could win the game here. Switch. Yep, alright. That is GG's. Alright guys, well that is the power of the Claydol deck. Not the best deck in the world, but it is fun. If you want to give it a try, like I said, I'll have it posted in the description of the video. But that's gonna basically do it for me. Unfortunately, the game this deck isn't that great, and I mostly made it to go around the 3 prize meta right now, but all our matches were pretty much against 2 prizers, so unfortunately it didn't go the way that we planned. But if you enjoyed the video, regardless, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 500 subs. So without further ado, guys, I'll go ahead and catch you guys all on the next one. Try it if you want. Try it if you dare. If you're a gambling person, go ahead and try this deck. If not, stay away. It's not a good deck, but it's a fun deck. I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.